Welcome to another episode of What is Hashimoto's with Dr. Martin Rutherford. To find out more on any of our topics, or for information on scheduling a consultation with Dr. Rutherford, please visit us at whatishashimotos.com. And now, here's Dr. Rutherford.
Hi, the subject today is hair dyes, hair bleach, and Hashimoto's. So I don't really, you could go on forever if you want to tease out every single chemical that is a trigger. That's a trigger for Hashimoto. So Hashimoto's is like, I've said 39, like I think I'm up to 41 or 42 now, but it's like, it's 40, 41 triggers. And I have presentations online that said 39, because that's what there was at the time. And so the chemical sensitivities are probably a quarter of those, like 25%. I don't even test for them anymore. There's controversy. Should you test it by hair? Should you do it by hair analysis? If you're going to test for them, do ELISA type PCR or antibody tests and look for the IgG, IgA type of stuff. And even IgM to make sure that you don't have an allergy to it. But I don't even test for it. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, and I've done the testing for it, and I've gone through it's the hair analysis for the metals, but also for the toxins, and it's urinalysis and so on and so forth, or it's antibody testing. But every test I ever did, people have chemical sensitivities. I mean, I think the bottom line is more than specifically is it hair dye or bleach, is that it's a chemical. And our bodies are not designed to live in the chemical soup that we live in. There's a good example with diabetes. I know this is about Hashimoto's, but there's a good example with diabetes where everybody up until like 1980 or even later said, oh, we got so much diabetes going on now because we're eating so much sugar. And we are. And it's a part of it. But it's interesting, in the 1980s is when we really started dumping chemicals into our society. It's like 80,000 chemicals have been introduced since then. How many of them have been actually evaluated? Well, not many. Not many at all. And the ones that have been, you've probably heard of glyphosates from the spraying of the foods and the Monsanto and that whole type of thing, which is real. Okay. So, but that's just one. It's just one chemical out of all of those. These chemicals go in and they are shown to create inflammation. They cause your liver to clog up. You end up getting itchy. Maybe it causes your liver to not be able to work right, and you start having all kinds of issues with detoxification. But in and of themselves, they have been shown to increase antibodies to autoimmune diseases, and particularly antibodies to the thyroid peroxidase enzymes that cause the attack on your thyroid, cause Hashimoto's. And I can personally speak to this. I mean, I used to use these like high-end hairsprays and whatever you call them, not hairsprays, but gels or something like that, just so I can look nice for my presentations. And I used to itch like crazy now, and so finally I went to and I have Hashimoto's. I think most of you know that. And finally, I started. I would wonder why I put this stuff in my hair, or I used this stuff that was really the good stuff. It wasn't going to make you feel bad, and I'd get a little heart palpitations. It was because those chemicals were triggers for autoimmune inflammation. They triggered inflammation. They triggered responses in your liver. They ate up your glutathione, which is a huge antioxidant, and you're supposed to be not eating it up for chemical sensitivities. The glutathione is supposed to be there for a lot of other reasons. It does a lot of bad things. The chemicals just do a lot of bad things. They mess up your gut. They just do a ton of things. And so just by stopping that, just by finding, like I start using this, like I don't get any money for this. Okay, so I start using this Alba shampoo. Huge difference. I started using this Giovanni, I think it's called. I'm not marketing. I know there's probably a million of these products. but this is with Sprouts or Whole Foods. I forget where I got it. It's like $8. Stuff's amazing. It's just, they'll do what you want it to do. They'll get your hair clean. Bleach. I mean, who in their right mind puts bleach on their body? It's like bleach. It's a poison. It's a toxin. It's that you don't have to really get much farther than that, but in the end, it's a chemical. I don't even test for chemicals anymore. If I didn't say that, or if I said that, I'm repeating myself. But I don't even test for it anymore because everybody's got them. So it's a part of my protocol. When I have somebody comes in with Hashimoto's, boy, I spend an hour or more looking at their case, figuring out what all their triggers are, what's the priority, did I have SIBO, did I not have SIBO, did I have leaky gut, did I not have leaky gut, what's their food sensitivities. I do not even test them for the chemicals. I just if they have SIBO and leaky gut, I do SIBO and leaky gut, and I detox them at the same time. For my patients who have autoimmune disease, which is probably 90% of my patient load, when I make my final recommendations, once they've reached their plateau and once they've stabilized, one of the things I tell them to do is do a gentle detox. There's a company called Apex. I use a lot of their products. I don't get any money for saying this, but they have a nice product called Clearbite. There's a zillion products out there like this, and I use half a dose every day. Why? I live in Reno, Nevada. For the entire summer, you could barely see the sky from all of the smoke that was coming from the California fires. Just that alone is enough of a reason, because what's in the smoke? Formaldehyde, rubber, toxins from wood. Just all kinds of stuff, plastics, all kinds of stuff that burned in those fires. Creosote, all the things that they put on the trees, the chemicals, just all that stuff's in the smoke. So, but the same thing with air pollution. For those of you who are living in large cities, you should be doing some sort of a gentle detox, just literally all the time. Just keep it going. Just keep it going so that you don't get an accumulation. It's a big deal. It's 25% of the 40 or so or more, as it keeps growing, triggers for autoimmunity, and particularly for Hashimoto. So that's the answer, more to chemicals in general than any specific toxin. They all kind of run in the same vein.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of What is Hashimoto's? To find out more on any of our topics, or for information on scheduling a consultation with Dr. Rutherford, please visit us at whatishashimotos.com.